Happy Friday, everyone. Happy birthday, Brittany and Lana. I hope you guys have an extra special day, and I hope this makes it extra special, just a little bit. We're gonna turn your worlds upside down a bit today. So to get us there, we're gonna work an inchworm extended plank with 3 and 3 second holds in the extended plank position. Prone shoulder raise of 6 to 10 alternating reps. Humeral glide to floor facing angel with plus extension for 3 reps. And then we're gonna hit that with 1 to 2 rounds. So just warming up the shoulders, getting things kind of ready for what's to come in our plank and our wall walk positioning. After that, we're gonna do a run / butt kick of 20 seconds, heel elevated dumbbell squat of 3 to 5, and then we're gonna practice some variation of our wall walk up. And that's gonna be 1 to 3 reps. So we're gonna walk you through a bunch of different options, leading you right up the wall from the floor all the way up into an inverted position. You're gonna hit that up anywhere from, I'd say, 2 to 5 rounds just to make sure you're really comfortable and happy with your different options. And you can even try out all these different pieces to build you up into your warm-up. The workout is on the minute for 15 minutes. You're gonna take down minute number 1, run 100 to 200 meters. I will have some other options there for you guys for inside options and or non-running variations. Weather might be not so good, so we'll see how it goes, but we'll have some different options for the run. Minute number 2, dumbbell squat for 10. You're gonna hit 10 dumbbell squats, either a goblet or a front squat. And this can be on the heavier side if you like. You can stay a little lighter. We did some squatting yesterday with the jump squats and the air squats. So if you'd like to kind of stay a little lighter and just work on technique and form, even throw in that elevation for the heels a little bit if you'd like to work on technique. You can use that minute to work on 10 really good squats to help build up that squat ability. Now minute number 3, we have a wall walk of 3 to 5, and we'll have a ton of different options for you guys there. So check out those options, pick the one that best suits you and that you're comfortable doing under a little bit of fatigue. So please keep that in mind because minutes tend to gather some fatigue, and we want to make sure we're comfortable with this work set. Now, we got that for 15 minutes, so let's get ourselves warm, let's get ourselves ready to turn your worlds upside down. Now, let's get those feet under the hips. We'll take the arms big and tall up overhead. We're gonna shrug up overhead. We're gonna come back down. We're gonna reach over to one side, and come back up, and then reach to the other side. Nice little side bend. From here, we're gonna scratch our back with both hands. Ribs are in. We're gonna reach through the elbow and down. Reach through the elbow and down. Reach the elbow and down. Reach the elbow and down. Big stretch. Little shrug overhead. We'll come back down with the shoulders. Forward fold. We're gonna touch the toes. We're gonna walk up those shins. Coming back down, we're gonna plant our hands on either side of the foot. Squaring up those hips, nice and long through the torso. Inside hand is gonna reach to the sky, and we're gonna rotate forearm to the floor. From here, we're gonna come up, big stretch. Then we're gonna rotate forearm to the floor, and then come back up, big stretch, and rotate forearm to the floor. We're gonna come back up, big stretch overhead, take that hand to the floor, step back into that down dog, reaching through those hips. We're gonna set those shoulders, come back into our plank, come back up into our down dog, nice and active, into that plank, back into that down dog, and then from here, back into that plank, and then step the other foot up. Nice and squaring those hips, inside hand's gonna reach, and we're gonna rotate forearm to the floor. We'll come back up, and rotate forearm to the floor. Come back up, big stretch, and rotate forearm to the floor, and big stretch. We'll plant the hand, step our foot back into that down dog, reaching through those hips, come back into the plank, nice and strong, tiptoe, those feet up, and we'll roll ourselves all the way up, big stretch. Big reach, oh, big reach. Good, we'll come down with those hands. And have a good time. So let's get ourselves ready to go. If you have any extra upper body stuff you'd like to do, some wrist work, some band work, please do so. Pause the video, rock that now. We're gonna come back at you with a nice little triplet. That's really gonna get the upper body fired up. So pause it, rock it, come back and join me. All right, you guys, let's get ourselves warmed up and ready to go. I'm gonna turn profile so you guys can see where I'm going with this movement. So our inchworm extended plank. I'm going to have my feet underneath my hips. I'm going to hinge at those hips. And I'm going to walk my hands out into that nice plank position. Now this is where my normal inchworm would stop, in this nice plank. But we're doing an extended plank. So I'm going to take a few steps past my shoulder to a range that I'm comfortable setting up in that hollow with. So I'm pushing into my toes, I'm pressing my hands into the floor, and pushing into the ground. And then I'll walk my hands back in, all the way up into my feet, and take it all the way up overhead. Big stretch, and then I'll repeat. So there's a couple different variations of this movement set. I went out quite far on that one into that long hollow, kind of that solid kind of eyebrow shape, we'll say, nice little arch. So what we want to think about is like, oh, I'm not comfortable getting back there. That's okay. What we can do is walk ourselves out to our plank, and then we can maintain that hollow, just take a step, and work on whatever distance you feel comfortable walking out and holding for 3 seconds, and then walking back in. And then standing tall, big stretch overhead, just to open up the shoulders a bit, and continue. Now from there as well, if you're not comfortable with that, extending in the toes, what we can do is we can walk ourselves into our plank. So we set our normal plank up, I lower my knees, I hit my knee plank, and then I walk myself out in that knee plank, in that extended position. Come back up, straighten my legs, and walk back in. So there's a few different variations that you can play with that's going to help stabilize the shoulder and really work on maintaining a good overhead position and tight core. So pick the variation that works for you, and don't feel you have to go super far. Just go to where you feel comfortable and or challenged. Prone shoulder raises next. We're going to lay on our stomach, getting ourselves down on the ground. Palms are down, toes are down, eyes are to the floor. I'm going to squeeze my toes into the ground, pull the ribs in, armpits press down, palms press down. Maintaining this beautiful position, or our handstand engagement. I'm going to lift a single arm up, hold for a moment, reset, lift the other arm up, press down, and alternate back and forth until I've done 6 to 10 reps. Now this again is not so much important on how high the arm gets, but how stable we can keep head to toe in our torso. So we really want to make sure that we're nice and strong from that head to toe and letting those arms move on their own. Our next exercise is going to bring the hands in similar to yesterday. We are going to actually make a fist this time on the floor. And what we are going to do is we're going to pull the shoulders forward, we're going to pull the shoulders back, pull the ribs in, we're going to pull the shoulders back, hands back, and then we're going to press the arms straight, come back into that position, and lower the hands down. So it's our floor-facing angel to extension. The fist position is still stacked in the same way, so wrist under elbow. The only difference is our fists are down, so it's going to give us a little bit more clearance to extend back and then come back into that stacked position and lower. So we're going to establish that nice stacked elbow first. We're still going to work the humeral glide before each rep, keeping the ribs engaged, squeezing back, extend. We're going to hold each repetition for a second or two just to make sure we show control in that extension and that floor-facing angel position. Now, as a quick recap, we have an inchworm extended plank, 3 reps and a 3-second hold in the extended position. Prone shoulder raise, 6 to 10 alternating reps. Humeral glide to floor-facing angel plus extension. So again, working with that closed fist position opposed to the open hand. So we're going to use that to give us an extra help to get that arm extended for 3. 1 to 2 rounds. We'll hit that up nice and slow. It's going to really get those shoulders and upper backs ready for action. So take advantage. Don't rush through these pieces. And if you like this work set, you give yourself an extra round because our work set is only 15 minutes today. So you do have some extra time to play with that warm-up if you need a little extra today. Pause it, rock it, come back and join me. We're going to talk about some squatting and some wall walk-up options. All right, everyone, we've come to the next phase of the workout or the warm-up. which is gonna get us kind of ready for what we're gonna do in the workout. And we can really take the time here to practice a few different pieces just to make sure we're comfortable with what's about to happen. So we have a run / butt kick for 20 seconds, or cardio piece of choice you can input into that piece in place of the run or butt kick. If I'm gonna do some butt kicks, I'm gonna get myself nice and tall. I'm gonna hold on to the imaginary tissue paper, and my arm's gonna be at a 90 degree. My body's nice and upright. I'm gonna pull that foot up underneath of my hip, so my heel is up underneath my glute, and my knee creates this kind of figure 4 position. And then I'm gonna put it back down and switch to the side. Our goal here is to try to relax the foot as much as we can and kind of pull that foot up underneath the body with our hamstring and our glutes. We're trying to learn how to use the back portion of the body to lift that foot up right under the body. So it's not back here, it's not out in front like a march. So we want to feel that hamstring working. You can take that at whatever pace or speed you'd like. Just make sure that that foot is staying underneath the body. And if you're wondering, there's nothing wrong with setting up a camera, filming yourself, do that for a couple reps, just to make sure we know where our body is. From there, if you have something that we can put our feet up on, we're going to do some heel elevated dumbbell squats to get ourselves ready for what's to come in our squatting today, just to open up the ankles a bit. So if you don't have an elevation surface, that's fine. You can just do normal tempo squats to work on your positioning and your skill. But if you do have it, what we're going to do is we're going to set ourselves up so the laces are kind of on the edge. So the heel is up, the toes are touching the floor, and right now my toes are pointing straight ahead. So not how I normally squat, but it is going to help open up my ankles a bit. I am focusing on my pinky toe and big toe being equally pressured into the floor. And then I'm going to hold the dumbbell under the chin for my goblet or in my front rack. So regardless of where I hold this dumbbell, front rack or goblet, my mechanics are going to be the same. With the heel elevation, it's going to push me slightly forward, so I have to stay centered over my laces. We also don't want to be too far back in the heels. We want to be right where those laces are. So I'm going to draw my hips down towards my heels, keeping my body as upright as I can and staying as active as I can in my squat. And then pushing through that midfoot to rise up to that normal squat mechanic. So again, regardless of where I hold the dumbbells, my squat mechanics are the same, and I'm trying to stay nice and upright in that nice, solid squat. So take your time with these. We have 3 to 5. It's going to give you a chance to practice your goblet, practice your front rack, or mix and match. See which one you want to do today and figure out your working loads. Now, last but not least, we have our wall walk-up. So we have some different options here for you guys for this one, and I'm going to walk you through from floor all the way to wall. So our first variation is our inchworm extended plank. So you'll start standing nice and tall, and you're going to walk yourself out like you did in your warm-up, walking yourself into that comfortable area, hit that nice plank, and then walk yourself in. And again, you can take that to whatever range you'd like to take, just like we did in our workout today, or our warm-up today. You don't have to hold for 3 seconds, but hold for a beat to show control, and then come back up, and then do it again for a set amount of reps, which I'll have on the workout description. Our next variation is going to use a box. Now with the box variation, we're going to put our feet up on the box, the couch, a chair. Make sure it's something that's stable and it's not going to move on you, because we are going to be putting some pressure in there. I'm going to put my feet in the middle of the box or the chair. I'm going to get myself into an elevated plank. So I'm in a normal plank position just with my feet up on the box. I'm going to walk my hands in, letting my hips come up into that hike position, and then I'm going to walk my hands out into that plank. I'm going to walk that back and forth with a little bit more elevation on my body and my shoulder, which is going to cause a little bit more weight into those hands. So with that one, walk it as far as you can, show control, walk yourself back out, show control. So we're making sure we're not rushing through this and that we are giving ourselves rest time or the amount of reps that I can do safely and with good position. So that is our variation with the box. Now with our wall positioning, if you have some wall space and you're comfortable with this, let's take it over to the wall. All right, we've made it to the wall. Now, our next variation using the wall would be setting up in a wall plank. So my hands are under my shoulders, I'm on my balls of my feet, pulling my ribs in, pressing the wall away. From here, I'm going to walk my hands up the wall into that same extended plank position in that hollow, and then walk my hands back into my wall plank. So that's variation number one, which is very, very nice. It's a good elevated surface that will help kind of build that strength, I'd say even before going right to the floor. So this is a nice option to work on finding that hollow at whatever positioning you need. Now when we get down to the floor, so this is where we really have to make sure we have a happy handstand and we're pretty comfortable being upside down. So before we come here, make sure that that box variation is strong and we're happy there. So what you're going to do is you're going to lay on your stomach. My hands are going to be at the bottom of my push-up position. I can push through the knees or the toes up to my plank. I'm going to walk my feet up and then walk my hands as close to the wall as I feel comfortable hitting that good handstand. And I'm going to walk myself back down with control. Now this is a challenging movement. So I want you guys to keep in mind, if you're going up against the wall and you're comfortable with that handstand, to use the same principles we talked about in our inchworm extended plank. Only take it as close and as vertical to the wall as you feel comfortable and that you can escape out as well. So you need to be able to enter and exit with good control and good form. So only hit the wall, like I said before, if the box is stable and strong. If you're comfortable from the floor, take it as close to the wall as you feel comfortable to maintain your handstand. You're only really walking it in at the farthest, about a hand and a half distance close to the wall. That gives you some buffer so you don't get too close and have that moment where like, ooh, I lost my balance. So play with these different options. Use all of them to warm up if you're going to go to the wall in each round of our warm-up today. So take the time to kind of play, to figure out where you want to be, and choose the option that's going to allow you to do this under fatigue. As a quick recap, you guys, we have a run/butt kick for 20 seconds, or whatever cardio piece you're going to throw in there to get yourself ready for the workout. Then you're going to hit up some heel elevated dumbbell squats, 3 to 5, figuring out goblet, front rack, whatever loading you want to use, and using that heel up to wake up your ankles and just kind of open up some position. Then wall walk practice, 1 to 3 reps of any of those options or all of those options I just showed you from the floor to the wall. So use them, embrace them, figure out where you want to live, and it's a great time to practice getting upside down. Hit this anywhere from 2 to 5 rounds just to make sure that we're getting ourselves ready and we're comfortable with what's about to happen, and then pause it, rock it, and come see me, and we'll talk about the workout. Now the workout is upon us. We have an on the minute for 15 minutes. Minute number 1, you're going to run for 100 to 200 meters. Now anywhere in that time frame. So we want to make sure that we're able to get in off of the run with about 5 or 10 seconds to get to our squat station, or you have a little bit of transition time to get ready for the squat so you're not rushing. Minute number 2, we have a dumbbell squat of 10 reps. That can be a goblet, a front squat, whatever you want to play with, 1 dumbbell, 2 dumbbells, whatever you want to do. You can go heavy or light, but you should be able to hit those 10 unbroken in that work set. I'm not saying they're not going to be challenging, but you can kind of experiment with some different loading here. Now if you're feeling pretty fatigued from the previous workout yesterday with the squatting, stay light, maybe even do those heel elevated squats we did in the warm-up. If you have that elevation surface, it'll just ease your ankles a bit and give you a chance to use that squat to help open up your body just a little bit more. Now minute number 3, we have our wall walk. We have 3 to 5 reps, or whatever range of rep scheme you would like to play with that gets you up and down comfortable. So if you're like, you know what, I'm good for the wall, but I don't think I have 3 to 5 reps, but I do have 1 good one each round. hit one really good wall walkout. Nothing wrong with that. Or if you're looking for volume, choose maybe the box or another variation we gave you in our warm-up phase previous. So pick the way you want to take it down. If you want to work on volume, if you want to get used to being upside down, maybe use the box. And if you have empty wall space and you're comfortable with the wall, use the wall. But be safe, be smart, and make sure you're choosing that option that you can hit well under fatigue. This is a fun little work set today, you guys. It's really based around skill development, but if you really hammer out that run and go heavy on that squat, this can be a really gut-wrenching kind of work set as well. So check yourself and see where you want to be today and what you want to experience, and give yourself the dose of movement that you need for you today. Have fun with it, enjoy it. Brittany, Lana, have a fantastic birthday. We will see you tomorrow for some more fun. Bye, you guys.